Can you talk about how the Stanford offense has evolved since maybe your Washington State days and the challenge of defending them on the perimeter?
Yeah, I think the DNA hasn't changed much at all. I mean, I think they have an expectation to play a physical brand of football, and it's on each defense each week to try to match that, and they make it very difficult to do that. And they'll do it out of a number of different personnel groupings, not specific to one. Sometimes it's with multiple tight ends, sometimes it's with one tight end, and sometimes they flex you out and they create seams in kind of the spread game with the use of RPO, which puts obviously back end guys in conflict. So, and some of the pictures may have changed, but again, I don't think Coach Shaw, in terms of the DNA in that program, has it all, and it's a group and a coaching staff that has been doing it at a high level for a long time, and I think if you polled every coach in the country in terms of level of respect, Coach Shaw and that staff, and as a defensive side, just looking at what they do offensively, our antennas are up for the challenge this weekend.
From what you've seen of Tanner McKee on film, how does he stress a defense generally?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should have a level of expectation in terms of quarterbacks at Stanford. I mean, just I guess you call it pro style. I mean that in a positive way. The ability to direct the ball downfield, unique ability in the vertical passing game. You want to call them 50-50 balls, but they have a tendency not to be. Advantage them in so many ways, and very difficult to surprise them from a coverage standpoint. I think part of that's just the experience level, and also the knowledge that you got to be so sound in the run game, which creates some matchups on the second level and that. So no, I've been impressed with the video. I had a real nice weekend last weekend as well.
Does this feel like an important test this week for your younger corners?
Well, it absolutely is, but I would have told you the exact same thing last week. I mean, it's just where we're at as a program, and getting an understanding of kind of who we are and what we are. Can you do it in practice, and then could you do it in a scrimmage, and then can you do it in a game, and can you do it for 4 quarters in a game, and can you do it against obviously Pac-12 level competition? And so, no, I think at every level of our defense, but most certainly, I think the ball's going to be in the air, and they call them 50-50 balls for a reason, which means the defense got to win it. That percentage, and we got to make sure that you're not going to win them all, but we got to win our share.
Is there any crossover from that Rice staff that came from Stanford to what you guys will see this week?
I think absolutely there is. I mean, and probably as much as anything, mentality, and some of the same sets, which that's I guess a unique opportunity for us, but it's also a unique opportunity for them because they see alignments and some of those things, and they'll see plays on film that one of the things we tell our guys is any issue that we have on a Saturday, we just bought that play for the remainder of the season. Now my hope would be is there's an understanding on our part that it was a self-inflicted wound and it should be corrected. It should have been corrected before that, but obviously it found itself onto a game. So no, we're cognizant of that, and certainly feel like I don't know if it's advantage for either side that way.
When it comes to run fits, how much of that success comes down to chemistry with your teammates on the field?
Yeah, I think the easy answer is when a guy's been in the defense for X number of years, then you say he's seen everything, and you can and there is some level of truth to that where you can kind of reference a moment. It could be, remember Stanford 2 years ago, like we got a couple of GAs on our staff that played for us at Washington State, and by the third year you said, remember that 2-back set that they gave us in 2016, and they immediately recognized. So we don't have those moments with our guys, but at the same token too is every year's different, personnel's different, and all those things. So I think part of that is, and some of it's the window dressing that offenses do. You can do it in a contained, and we try to as best we can to create the chaos in the practice field, but a contained environment with a scout team. I see it, I fit it, then all of a sudden the emotions of game come into it. And so part of that's just getting more experience for all the guys in the moment, and obviously the moment gets a whole lot bigger on Saturday up there.
Are there some guys based off Saturday and the first few days of practice that you would expect to play a little bit more this week?
It's a good question. We make that determination after Thursday's practice, but it's not tryouts every week, but it's open competition every week. And so a guy that maybe shows well on special teams, you say, well, can he have a role, for you on defense? Is there someone if you change a checker, could he have an impact? I try to bring up Solo's name when I can. I mean, a guy that hasn't played a lot of football here, I didn't even realize that, honestly, but at linebacker, moving to DN, and all of a sudden it gets kind of exciting both for him and for us, and so we're always looking at those things. But no, we'll continue to evaluate the film. Obviously, had Tuesday's practice, Wednesday's practice. I thought we had some pretty good work today, but constantly evaluating that. Absolutely.
What's Stanford got in Patrick Fields?
Oh, Pat. I mean, one of all-time favorites. I mean, he is elite at all things on the field, off the field. I couldn't say enough positive. I mean, it's going to be awkward right now how much I feel about Pat Fields. And then you could pull anybody that was with us. He's an elite, player, communicator. I'm gonna start crying thinking about Pat. But anyway, I wish he was here.
Before the season, Lincoln talked about the physical development of the team and being pleased with where it's at, given where it was at when you guys first got here. In terms of defense, where do you feel like it's at in terms of physicality as you guys go into a matchup that, a team that's known to be physical in the front?
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a real test for us. I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, we're kind of in that phase. And you don't – game day shouldn't be about, this ultimate test. I mean, as you go, and then that kind of speaks to longevity with guys, is you want to have a better understanding before you get to this point. And certainly I feel like we've done our part to the best of our ability based on what you can do on practice. And I don't mean just this week. I mean over the last 9 months. And I know sometimes you guys are out here from a physical standpoint. If we can put pads on people, we're going to put pads on people. And any opportunity we do that. And it's all for these moments. Now, can you simulate it, in an offense that kind of hangs their hat on it? Certainly we don't claim to, but also we have an opportunity to go and get inside runs against our offense. I mean, we don't play our offense. So those inside runs that we've been doing since spring football, 9-on-7 drills and stuff like that, those aren't designed to beat our offense. We don't play them this year. It's one opponent we know we don't play. It's for opponents like this. Might be different plays, but it's the same mentality. So the challenge is to do it on the practice field, so you got a chance to obviously rise to the occasion on Saturday, but it's going to be a major, major test.
You talk about the Tuesday and Wednesday physical strain.
Yeah.
You talk about what you guys do mental strain on Thursday.
100%. And so for us, we look at it through the frame of football's a game played with at least stress on you mentally and physically, and it requires elite focus from a mental standpoint and elite effort from a physical standpoint. And so we tell the guys, if we can't stress you physically, we're always going to stress you mentally. So we don't do walkthroughs, we do run-throughs. And so we crank up, we'll do drives on Thursdays, for instance, and it'll be what we call 3-and-out takeaways, so 3 plays in a row of elite execution. We're moving the ball downfield, and we're going at the exact tempo, probably faster than what our vision would be, faster than what an opponent does. We got to make calls, we got to get lined up, we're stepping to every gap. You're just not finishing the play, it's not physical work. But by no means do we downshift. We just simply downshift from a physical standpoint. So, and it's by design. We say if we do the right things on Tuesday and Wednesday physically, the effort level, and then it's start building ourselves back up physically over the next, 72 hours or whatever it is. So, but no, from a mental standpoint, it cranks up, and we still call those game reps. It's just we don't have the physical element of things, but it should be a game rep mentality.
Thank you, Coach Grinch.
All right, thank you all.